What are some red flags in women you should stay away from? If you can't even be yourself, this is within reason. I always talk about how the relationship has to grow organically. You can't force it. This doesn't mean you can drop all your baggage on her on the first date. I'm talking long term. If you're consistently being like suffocated, you feel like you're being someone you're not constantly. Next, you feel like you have to sacrifice too much. For a lot of ladies that are toxic, they'll gradually do this. It's not an overnight thing, night and day. So for a lot of men, it's not noticeable. She won't just come over and be like, oh, you can't play your video games anymore. It's either me or the games. It's usually she's slowly pulling you away from them until one day you wake up in the morning and you're like, huh, I'm not doing the things I used to enjoy anymore. Next, she pressures you to do things that you don't want to do constantly. Now, this is going to happen both ways sometimes. You got to compromise. Sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do. Maybe you go to her family's parties and you're not a huge fan of her family or some of the people in her family. That's going to happen sometimes. But if you're constantly feeling like you don't have a say in your own life, and I've noticed this is another thing that happens slowly. She probably won't impose this all on you at once. It will gradually be more and more of your time until you have nothing left. So just be wary of these things.